Hi, hello and welcome back to Bioenergetics. My name is Devaraj and today I want to answer a question that I get asked every now and again, which is about squatting. Is it good to squat in bioenergetics, or is it good to squat generally to get your ass low on the ground and have your feet flat on the floor? Because often, we see pictures of tribes people and stuff like this, doing this and having a bit of conference and stuff like that. They squat. A lot of traditional people, they defecate by squatting. They squat to defecate. And there's a lot of talk around, that this is basically good for you. And I would say it is. I would say it is. The reason, actually, I have to be honest here, why I don't make so many videos about squatting is because as a kid, I've got certain issues with my legs. My Achilles tendons didn't grow and it got operated on and stuff. And I can't really squat. I can get down. I can go on like the balls of my feet, I can do it. I can go down like this. But then that's not such a good squat, and it's not so stable, to say the least. I'm kind of having to, struggle to keep my balance. And ideally, if you're going to squat fully, you want to be able to get your heels on the ground like this. And I think that is, assuming you have normal mobility in this area, then that's a really good thing to work towards, to be able to squat like this and then just breathe and feel. What squatting gives you, basically, is a grounding, a good grounding with the earth. And what I mean by that, technically in bioenergetics, is you're activating a circuit from your belly here down to the soles of your feet. And any level of holding in your ankles, in your feet, in your legs, especially around your pelvic, your psoas, your hip flexors and around the belly, any level of holding around there will block your grounding. So you won't so easily feel present on the earth. And squatting is a great way to alleviate that and to get your grounding circuit working. 5 minutes of just squatting straight down like that, breathing and feeling into your belly and feeling your legs, feeling your contact with the earth will really support you to feel more grounded in life as you go through your day. What I'm also going to do, because I can't do the full squatting myself, my legs won't allow me, is we're going to look at a little exercise that's called tiger squats, which is combining a squatting movement with a grunt sound. And I love these grunt sounds because they're very primal and they really activate, apart from the grounding circuit, which the squatting kind of does, you'll see when you get to the exercise, they also activate a circuit between your belly and your throat, which is kind of synonymous with your sympathetic nervous system, your fight and flight response. It means that you have this kind of animal intensity. It activates that. Often we think of the sympathetic nervous system, the fight and flight, as a bad thing. But, if your sympathetic nervous system is really sleepy, it makes you really sleepy as well. It's a good thing to have your fight and flight response, but of course you also need to be able to ground it, to damp it down, to open your heart and other things so that you don't remain in the fight and flight all the time. So this grunting is really simply making a vibration, basically the lowest sound in your throat that you can make, and trying to feel into your belly at the same time. And if you do it over time, you'll find that your voice will deepen and you'll start to get a vibration passing down your windpipe. Chances are you will have to work at this. For most people, they will have to work at this, male or female. But it goes a bit like when I do that, I can feel a vibration. I'm starting it in my throat around here, but I can feel it down in my belly and I can feel it kind of going down. It's quite a satisfying feeling. It's quite an animal feeling. And combined with this sound, we're gonna drop our ass basically. So it's gonna look like. So what we're doing is, in fact, I could have my feet a little wider apart. I've got this little rug here. It's getting in the way, but feet quite wide apart, much wider than shoulder width. Let's have the outsides of the feet roughly parallel. That's always good. And when you drop your ass, so start with bending knees, drop your ass, but try to keep your backbone relatively straight. You may go down a long way, you may not be able to go down a long way. It's not super important, but it's like. This is a great movement. And if you're doing this as part of you can do it as part of a routine. You know, I like to work with interval training with bioenergetics on like a 1 minute, a 90-second or 2-minute ding. You can make one element of this tiger squat, or you can build it up starting with a minute and then the next day doing a minute 10, a minute 20, a minute 30, you know, trying to build it up to 5-10 minutes, something like that. The more you work this belly circuit over time, you know, doing an hour of it, nearly killing yourself, and then never doing it again will not achieve all that much for most people. But if you work it over time on a regular basis, you will start to find, wow, my voice is deepening when I want it deeper. You'll find, oh wow, I can feel into my belly now. I can feel energy down there. So it's really worth the investment of your time to work this circuit regularly. It's a great posture. So also, just to recap, we're activating this circuit here from the belly to the throat, and also from the belly with this squatting movement, belly down to the soles of the feet. So it's a really powerful practice. Okay, cool. Thank you for tuning in today. If you want to know more about bioenergetics, I've got an online 52-week course, which is quite full on, but if you stick with it, it will create a lot of transformation in your life, and is, I would say, by far, well, of course you might say I'm bound to say this, but it is the most kind of challenging and rewarding. You know, if you want a deep challenge and where you are in the world, you can't go to actual physical workshops or there's lockdowns or whatever, and you want to do something online, this is a really challenging thing to do online. And it does take quite a while. It costs a little bit of money, but you really will get a lot of change from it if you stick with the course. And I am there to support you on the way with all sorts of little we got groups and we got sharings and stuff like that. Also, I've got my book on bioenergetics. You can buy that on my website, bioenergetics.org.uk. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again soon for more bioenergetics.